morning, good afternoon, good evening, gorgeous explorers. How are you? I'm going to do my usual thing and give you a weather update. Autumn is in the air, and I'm so thrilled. We've had 2 nights of rain, and oh my goodness me, I almost wanted to get out there and just do a rain dance, and it was beautiful. Just to feel that cool, wet moisture on my skin after almost 3 months of nothing. Finally, we've had some rain, and it's incredible. The brown grass outside is already starting to green up, and although we're not quite yet in September, I can feel a change in the air, and autumn is on the way. My favourite time of year is coming. So, yay, I am clapping, I'm happy, and I'm looking forward to this autumnal season, which is just around the corner. Hello, welcome on in. Just want to say, first of all, huge thank you to everybody who listened to, commented on, reposted and shared Giselle's episode, because you loved it. You loved it. You loved it. Thank you so very much. You know, when I was recording that, when I was editing it, I wasn't sure which direction it was going to go in, and it wasn't until I'd finished editing Giselle's episode, I re-listened to it and I thought, oh my God, it's so obvious. This is all about development. What a concept that Giselle left us with. A very true concept that development is never over. You can be as good as you want to be. You can be as good as you aim to be. But your development in this psychic, spooky, mediumship world is never over. So a huge thank you to Giselle for her participation in the Psychic Explorer. And just a thought, if there's anybody that you would like me to get hold of and try to have a conversation with about their journey, then do reach out to me and let me know. You can find me at the.psychic.explorer on all the socials. We're coming to that time of year where I'm starting to plan for next year. So we've got 1 or 2 more guest episodes coming, and then we're in the thick of spooky season and then Christmas and New Year's. So yeah, if you have any ideas or any thoughts on who you would like me to have an interesting conversation with, then do drop me a line. One more thank you if you reached out to me to wish me happy birthday. Thank you very much. It was my birthday a couple of weeks ago. Had a rather marvellous time. My other half spoiled me rotten, and we went to an incredible 1930s New York style speakeasy in South London, and my word, one of the best 3.5 hours I've ever had in my life. Just phenomenal, absolutely beautiful. And isn't it nice just to get dressed up every now and then? Tuxedo, bow tie. I have to admit, I was quite surprised at how well I scrubbed up. Okay, let's get started, my dear explorers. Today's episode is all about losing circle and finding my own way. It's about how I have navigated and how I am navigating swapping one form of circle, one outlet with another, and how comfortable or uncomfortable I feel about it. In my last solo episode, I was talking to you about how my psychic work, how my mediumship has taken a bit of a pause, a bit of a crash, a bit of a lull. And I explored the idea, this open conversation with the universe about how my mediumship could be seasonal. And already, as the evenings are starting to draw in, I love it. It's 8 o'clock now, it's dark. I'm like, yes, it's getting darker at night. I love it. I can feel that difference. I can feel it bubbling up within me. And I explored lots of different things, whether it be my mum's death anniversary, whether it be working in the summer or my social calendar is off the chart in the summer, whatever it might be. I didn't look at one aspect, and that was that my face-to-face circle came to an end. It was probably late spring it came to an end, and it was a real shame because I loved going. It gave me a place to go every Wednesday evening. It got me out, and it got me into a place where I could have a meditation, where I could sit with other people, where I could explore different aspects of mediumship and psychic work physically with other people. Forgive me if I overuse the word community in this episode, but it really did feel like a building of a community. I had it when I very first started developing. I went to a spiritualist church. I went to one of their circles, and that was lovely. And I felt I needed to switch to something else. And I did. I found this other circle and I absolutely loved it. And I hope I'm not blowing my own trumpet when I say I became a fixture of that circle. I remember somebody in that circle said, Matt, it's always either you or me. You know, other people might miss a week, might miss a month or whatever, but he was saying to me, you and me, we always go, we always turn up. And we did. We were always very, very consistent in going. But, you know, for one reason or another, that circle wound down. And for the first time in a while, I found myself circle-less. I found myself with nowhere to go to meet other like-minded people. And it did feel like the end of an era. It did feel like the end of something. It was probably about this time that I switched my attention to online. And just to preface this episode, I know I have spoken quite a bit about TikTok, and my guests have spoken quite a bit about TikTok and Instagram, different social media stuff. I guess that's because this year it has been such a big part of my community, because I did swap my face-to-face community with an online community. And I had met lots of different American people through that connection, and it was really lovely. And I downloaded TikTok and I'd already had Instagram, and I just started to connect with different people. And what I found was that it allowed me an ease and it allowed me an ability to watch how other people work. It allowed me to sort of scroll through other people's live rooms and live readings to see how they read. Now, my only experience of this up until this point was to go to different churches, go to different spiritual centers. And I'd always really enjoyed watching other people read, because it showed me how other people did it. It wasn't necessarily a comparison. It was just seeing how other people did what I did and what I was doing and what I was learning and what I was practicing. But going out to a centre or a church, here at least in the UK, usually, unless it's a ticketed event, usually comes with a whole load of other stuff. Prayers, singing, other elements to a service, which I didn't necessarily feel 100% comfortable with. Plus, it was normally a good few hours of my night, of my evening, of my time. By the time I came home, it was bedtime and that was the night gone. Not a problem. But the online stuff, it was there. All I had to do was flip my phone on and people were reading from all over the world. I could see it. And what I very quickly saw from these online rooms, these online readers, in general, I very quickly managed to sort the wheat from the chaff. People who are on there for personality, people who are on there to perform. And I focused myself on the readers that I felt were ethical, that I feel are ethical, that I feel are trustworthy and are doing the development work. And as you may have noticed, that corner of the internet is where a lot of my guests for this year's guest episodes have come from. And these people are people that I respect because I've worked with them, I've read with them, I've practiced with them. And what I'm about to say here is absolutely zero reflection on those wonderful, wonderful readers, on those wonderful people who I consider friends, who I am honoured that they came on to the Psychic Explorer. But here is the honest turn. There are so many people on these platforms who are reading, and when you watch them read, it's very easy to shift from watching them for observation and for learning to watching them for comparison, to compare, and to build up in your mind, oh, I don't read like this. Oh, does that mean I'm a bad reader? Oh, I don't do this. Oh, they've got X amount of people watching them. Oh, they've got X amount of people following them. Oh God, I've only got this. I've only got that. I don't do that. And you start building these people and putting them up on a pedestal. As you watch and as you see these people reading, you start thinking, oh God, am I good enough? Oh, I don't do that. And they must be professional because they've got a professional setup. They are on here all the time. They are doing this all the time. And I'm not. I don't have much interest in being online per se. I still find it uncomfortable. And with that, the ego does start, and you can feel it, but it does creep up on you, and you do have to check it every now and then. And you have to remind yourself, where is the sitter in all this? This is not, you shouldn't be doing this to do an impersonation or an impression of someone else. The sitter should be at the heart of this. I could feel myself sliding into admiration, turning into waiting for approval. Now, I've always said I feel like I need a certificate from Psychic University for someone in authority to give me a piece of paper to say, there you go, now you can go and read. It's almost like I've needed someone to give me the green light before I can go and do it. There's a feeling that if I just did this, or if I held off a bit longer, or if I do a bit more development here or a bit more development there, then I might be ready. And it's a double-edged sword because, yes, continuing on from Giselle's episode, development is important. Development is key. It's vital. And if you haven't done the work, and it's going to be hard work, and it's not going to be quick work, but if you haven't done that work, you are going to fall flat on your face. At the same time, I found myself thinking, well, when will I be ready? How do I know when I'll be ready? And I can feel that turning into a requirement of needing permission in order to move forward. I'm minded to just think about what Giselle said in her episode, that she's done these courses, she's done these mentorships, and it's a continuing journey. Absolutely, she's bang on right, and she is training to become the medium that she wants to be, the medium that she feels comfortable with, and gives herself back to herself, if that makes sense. But for me, I have stepped back from watching online stuff. 2 reasons. Because I'm aware of how I'm feeling at the moment, because I'm aware when I watch these people who I place on a pedestal, that's just me, I've placed them there, they've not done it, I've placed them there, but that comparison for me is not healthy. But also, and again, here's the truth, the dirty truth, is that a lot of what is happening at the moment is other mediums picking each other apart. And I have nothing to add to that. It doesn't interest me. I can see the mediums that I like. I can see the mediums that I don't like. I can see what I find ethical. I can see what I do not find ethical. And I will steer away from those people who I consider unethical or just doesn't vibe with me. Can vibe with you, great, but if they don't vibe with me, it's not for me. But it's a lot of conversation, a lot of noise around this at the moment, and it just, makes you want to step back. So I guess I've been feeling a little bit homeless, and I don't use that word lightly. And what I mean by that is I feel spiritually homeless, I guess, because I know I have it within me. But I know that I have been outsourcing my authority, my agency to other people who I do admire and who I respect. That is purely me. That is something that I have done to myself because of what I perceive as their success. Therefore, they have authority. Therefore, I can't do anything until they give me the green light. So I don't have my face-to-face circle anymore. I still have my wonderful online community, but I feel like I have stepped back from it ever so slightly. My conversation on a daily basis is a little 15-second clip of my day. Every day I'm posting a little clip of something that I'm doing, nature. And it does tend to be nature related, whether it is just a quick video clip of a cloud passing in the sky, leaves falling from a tree, butterfly. Today it was a butterfly on my finger. I was gardening and there's this beautiful butterfly that just was on my finger and it wouldn't move. That's the kind of content I provide. Like it or lump it, that's my vibe. So what have I done? I've started Wednesday and Sunday Explorers. I've tried to start not my own community, but I've tried to start something which is blending my wonderful face-to-face friends with my wonderful online friends. Somewhere where anyone can come along and practice their mediumship. It is peers rather than authorities. There is no one in authority. I am very strict with saying every single time I run Sunday and Wednesday Explorers that we are all equal in this room. I am not a teacher. I am not an authority. Let's have respect for one another, and let's have respect for where each of us are in their development. I didn't want to wait for permission. I recognized that when my face-to-face circle ended, I still needed somewhere to practice because my online spaces, Dana's spaces, which I loved, but for me, the time zones just don't work. So I put something on for my time zone. And it's a lovely space. It really is lovely. You know, yes. I've had one person who has tried to make life difficult for me on that. And I've spoken about that in a previous episode. But I love the people who come. I hope it is a good, welcoming and open space for everyone. But I gave myself the green light to do that. And I guess I need to just remember that. I need to remind myself to give myself more of a green light than the amber or even the red. So I'll leave you, I'll leave that monologue with just a reminder that when you take this work up, the priority should be the vibration that you feel within you, the messages that you feel you are getting from the ether, whether you call that God, spirit, whatever it might be, and the sitter in front of you. Those are your priorities, or those I feel those should be your priority. I'm trying not to be too prescriptive here, but those are the things that I feel should be the priority, not the pizzazz, not the performance, not the like count or the follow count, not the calling people out count. That's where I am at the moment. So I hope what I've said there resonates with you. I'm going to leave you with a card pull. I just pulled a card. I picked out the Three of Wands from my beautiful B tarot deck, and you know me by now, I don't read tarot, but I do use these cards as oracle cards. And as I sit with this card, this character is sat on the moorland, on the heathland, looking out over the ocean, where there are 3 sailing boats sailing off into the distance, and they're on their journey. They're on their own way, and each of these 3 boats are starting off from a very similar point. They're starting off from the mouth of this river, from this estuary. Where they end up, though, may be very, very different. They'll all go on their own journey. They'll all go on their own ways. And each of them will discover something unique about the world, and they will learn lessons on the way. So to wrap this up, beautiful explorers, don't hold yourself to one way of doing things. Just because you start in one place does not mean you have to end where someone else who started in a similar place to you has ended up. It's perfectly okay if you do your own thing and you discover, because that journey, when you go on that journey, is going to be unique to you, specific to you, curated for you. And it will be as sweet as the honeysuckle that the bees on my card here are feeding from. I will leave you with that. Dear explorers, the next time I speak to you, in my mind, it will be the first month of autumn, September. Meteorological, I think it's meteorological autumn. Yeah, we'll start in September. This is 3 episodes. Sorry, I'm just realizing this is 3 episodes in August. How did I not spot that? Well, that's fine. The next time I speak with you will be a guest episode, and I'm going to have the utterly fabulous Sylvester Allen. He is on to talk about his journey, and I hope he won't mind me saying I need him on for a second episode, because I feel like this conversation we had barely scratched the surface. He's a wonderful person, a wonderful reader, and from the conversations I've had with him, a genuine human being. So I look forward to sharing that gorgeous conversation with you. Until then, look after yourself and look after those around you, beautiful people. Take care, guys. Bye.